What's the biggest lifestyle make people make right before retirement? I'm James Regan, RICP, financial advisor and owner of Valor Legacy Wealth. This is not an uncommon story in my practice where I get the phone call as, hey, James, I'm getting ready to buy a boat. And we're not, we're talking like, a nice boat, or James, we're thinking about buying that RV, we want to go travel the country in a motorhome, when we retire and that sort of thing. And those things are great aspirational things. And like, I get it. Like, we worked our whole lives. We're getting ready to retire. The retirement cresting of the hill is on the horizon. The moon's going to be a little bit brighter at night and the sun's going to shine a little bit brighter in the morning when we're retired. And so you want to do that from the balcony of your motorhome or from the bow of your new boat. And that, like, I totally get the rationale behind it and the feelings and the emotions. But what you don't fully appreciate sometimes is you're buying probably a largely inflated asset that's going to depreciate rather quickly, and then there are maintenance traps. And so, as you're getting closer to retirement, you're moving away from consistent, steady W-2 income that you have because you're working to moving to the W-2 income where you're living off your saved assets, your 401ks, IRAs, all the other assets that you've saved that we're going to be in the distribution or unwinding phase. And if you have these unwanted expenses where they're basically luxury items that can eat into your retirement distribution plan, that can be something that can quickly erode your retirement, where you have these big expenses that were not really planned for in the retirement plan. Now, if we plan for that 5-7 years out and we're buying these vehicles, that's probably a different story, but that hasn't been my experience in my practice, where I kind of get the impulsive, they were at the boat show or the RV show in Mesa, and all of a sudden the fuzzy feelings happen that we're going to become road warriors, our new motor coach. And so part of it is that you got to be thinking through, like, not only can you afford the expense today, but can you afford the ongoing maintenance? And so I encourage people who want to do sort of those sorts of things or those sort of purchases. If you can rent it for a period of time, rent it. See if that's something you really want to commit to, that lifestyle, and can you afford it? And this is a true story. I actually had 2 clients in my practice. They did this. They were very smart about what they did. They bought the RV, but when they went and traveled the country, what soured them was actually seeing, what the KOA sites looked like and some of the motorhome sites looked like. And it wasn't the stuff you saw on YouTube. They were very disenchanted with, what had happened. And so their luster for like the open road and this retirement lifestyle of being on the open road with their RV quickly, vanished. And they got back from their first trip, no joke, sold the RV, and that was it for them. And so, luckily they kind of broke even on the asset trade, but one of those, maybe you rent it for a period of time, see if it's a lifestyle you want to commit to before you make the final purchase and incorporate that into your longer plan. So those are some of the, lifestyle choices that can, disrupt retirement, right? As we get towards the jumping off point, as they say. So click below if you want to learn more about how we can avoid some of these purchases or incorporate them into your plan. We can do that. And if also # bad purchases, we'll talk about it.